Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Today's blood sugar, wait with you. There, it's a little quieter for us. Today's blood sugar is at 9.5. And you see how it's being a little raucous day today. All within reason, but okay, let's take a look here. Current blood sugar, let's do it backwards, 7.9. I've gone up, still 0, 91% time in range, 9% above. Interesting. Today, I want to discuss discussions, and this is kind of very open topic, but we'll be right back. So sit back, relax, and we'll be right back to begin. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Discussions. What the beep do I mean by discussions? Discussions are simple. Two T1Ds getting together and talking about things. There's a worker here in our facility who is also a type 1 diabetic. We've had virtually the same doctors. So things are good when two diabetics meet. But those of you who are a T1, let me ask you this. How many of you meet up with a T1D and try to outdo each other with stories? When I was first diagnosed, this happened, and then my highest blood sugar was this. Oh, well, yeah, but mine was, the constant winning, sort of like keeping up with the Jones. Why would you celebrate all the negatives of type 1 diabetes? It's important that we get out and we meet other type 1 diabetics, especially for younger diabetics. They need to get out and feel that they're not alone. When I was diagnosed at high school and went back from the hospital. I was going to say graduate from the hospital, but I guess you don't do that. And a lot of times I was asked, what is it like? There was no other type 1 diabetics around. I think there was one other in the school at that time. Now, there may be 3 or 4 in each grade. Keeping your children informed with other T1Ds gets rid of the whole isolation. It wasn't till I went to my second high school that I went to for a year in Sherwood Park that I met another diabetic. Ooh. And then when I went to the private school, there was my first year, there was another diabetic there. He was grade 12, I think. And we didn't really mingle. I was grade 10, so. I should just look him up again and see. He went into aviation, I think. So, be quite interesting to find out where all these people were. I just remember his name. I don't remember the diabetic person that they matched me up with. And in one summer in Lionsgate, it was just, he didn't want anything to do. It was total blackout. Still would like to know what has happened to this individual. How is his type 1 diabetes gone? Is he out there in trouble, or is he not? That's what I would like to know. It's just that right here, right going there. So, getting to understand, if there were a couple of other type 1 diabetics in the hospital and meeting up with them, I think that would have really helped this kid. I think this kid, he was younger than I was, but I think he kind of signed himself out of the hospital. Oh yeah, I'll take insulin, fine, yeah, goodbye. I hope he's doing well. But I think he would have learned if they got together and just had discussions. I'm a big proponent of discussion groups and learning from each other. The negative points, well, the storytelling may go a little bit far. You kind of need to have someone who's able to keep the discussions on track. In fact, that was one of the reasons why I started this group, because diabetes support groups out there are few and far between, if any. So now we have YouTube and these. I come up with topics every day and try to make discussions that could prompt you and say, no, that doesn't really make sense to me. Here, try this. We've had a few success stories, but I think we need to get more. We always need to get more. In my 47 years as a type 1 diabetic, I have learned how not to live my life. I've learned how to live my life, keeping up with new advancements. For a long time after I was diagnosed, wasn't really an advancement, but I was on 1 shot of insulin a day. I went to my doctor and he said, well, you know what? I think we need to start you on 2. I went home, told my father, and he said, so what did you do wrong? Why do you need 2 shots now? And it's kind of like, no, I don't need the 2 shots. Just for the fun of it. My demands have changed. So, the biggest thing about getting together like this or sitting down for coffee somewhere is that you start to break down these myths. Somewhere along the line, that, for example, hemoglobin H1C test. People for a long time were always thinking that that was the report card. How well you've been doing. Well, yes, but a lot of diabetics took that necessarily to say how they're going. Like, oh my God, I've done something wrong. Versus, okay, this treatment isn't working for you. Do you see the difference? It should be more focused on the report card on how your treatment's going, not on how you're doing and that you're cheating. And as I learned at the beginning, and I was pretty well on my own, it was kind of like, here's your keys, go at it. I really needed some extra sort of help along the way. I got on to my first pump because 2 women from up north, or not up north, but the interior, it's northern to where we were in North Vancouver, but came down and they were going to take part of tests. I learned at the time that there was such a thing as a dry test, that you didn't need to get your little squeeze bottle and rinse off your blood. I learned that this one lady would inject insulin right into her vein. And I thought, ooh, I'm not gonna do that. But I guess people were doing whatever they could to gain control. And since leaving that era, we would meet, and there were a few other diabetics who would come in for treatment in their outpatient. We would go down there, we'd all meet and discuss things. That was awesome. I got onto a pump. I liked how the pump worked. And then supplies for that pump started drying up, and I had a useless pump. you had to buy vials of insulin already pre-filled. So it was only selected types of insulin. You couldn't have different types of short-acting insulin in your pump. But I learned all this from discussions. I learned also, and I can remember this, I was having high blood sugars and I was starting to show ketones. And they said, oh yeah, we're going to go out for a walk. I said, oh, okay, great, let's go. And the diabetic nurse at the clinic said, it's probably not a good idea that you go. And I thought, what? Because it can promote more ketones from forming, not from forming, but forming. And that kind of blew me away. So there is so many openings and learning. You need to learn and to grow. Keeping your blood sugars under control is the main objective. If you need to get support from your medical team, from other T1 diabetics, that's fine. Only another T1D diabetic will really understand what's going on. So it is important key. So search out a group. If there's no group in your area, start conversation here. Start it with another YouTuber that you like, so that you can have support when you need it. Discussions are important. Have a great day, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.